Thanks, Congressman. Our next speaker is our own Commissioner Irwin. Tom.
Well, those two previous speakers are a tough act to follow, but you're certainly appreciated. Thank you. You know, when you walk in a room like this, you see a lot of people, and you're really glad to see them. I met a gentleman at the second table up. He told me, you know, we have differences, but Alaskans always see eye to eye. And that's correct. And there's one thing we clearly see eye to eye on. It's responsible resource development. It was a privilege to have Secretary Salazar here. I do want to convey a message to him because I'm also originally from Colorado. No one warned me about Alaska. If you visit once, you want to come back, and you want to stay a little longer, and you visit a little more, and you know pretty soon you're here. So I will look forward to eventually Secretary Salazar living in Alaska. The second thing is I'd like to mention is, and I just got a few highlights, but we do agree on this, and we all agree. Secretary Salazar, as it was noted this morning, made the statement following his confirmation, and we need to pay attention to it because we do see eye to eye on this. A national energy policy that includes conservation, expanded renewable resources, and wise, responsible use of fuels such as coal, oil, and natural gas will create jobs here in America, and if I might add to a statement, in Alaska. It'll protect our national security by reducing America's dangerous dependence on foreign oil. I might mention we never want to be in a situation such as Russia and the Ukraine. America can never get there where someone can turn our tap on. And continuing with his statements and confront the dangers of global warming. There is no way to achieve the goals in his statement in the next few decades without a dramatic increase in production of domestic natural gas and a strong effort to increase domestic oil production. We're not going to get there without that. Keeping Alaska's OCS lease sales, exploration and development programs on schedule, especially in the Beaufort Sea and Chukchi Sea, is critically important to this effort. It's mandatory. You all know we have tremendous resources of oil and gas. It's important to stress that exploration for and production of oil and gas from the Beaufort Sea and Chukchi basins is critical. Two things: for maintaining the viability and longevity of the Trans-Alaska Pipeline for our TAP system. I don't think any one of us thinks without a day going by watching the drop in oil and the potential impacts of this state. We need to keep things going, and we want our existing producing fields on the North Slope to keep moving forward. Of equal importance to moving that oil are the steps Alaska has taken to connect lower 48 markets to Alaska's huge natural gas potential. You know, that's our future. That's where we're ultimately going, and as we've heard and we hear over and over, we've got to work together on it. It's got to get going, and yesterday isn't too soon. Getting Alaska's natural gas to market will not only provide a preferred fuel, it's also going to have a significant impact on our country for fuel costs. It's the right energy, it's the clean energy at the right time, and we have lots of it. I think lots is a technical term. Look, we know changes are needed, and we must move forward. But we can't emphasize enough that simply waiting for low carbon emitting renewable capacity, and we support that, but we can't wait. It won't happen quick enough, and it'll come too late. If we want to meet the mitigation goals for reducing CO2, that will be required under the most credible climate change models. We need to do something now. Meeting these goals will require a preferred available fuels, including and in particular natural gas. It has a very low carbon footprint and can be used within the existing energy infrastructures we know. Comment or conclusion. It is not well understood in much of the nation that Alaska has decades of experience in safely extracting oil and gas from our resource basins through the state, including Arctic Alaska. We can't recognize and thank our companies enough. They're here and they've been doing it correctly and they're moving the state forward. Over the history, the technology that the industry has brought and caused has become extremely sophisticated. We hear about directional drilling from a single location. We in Alaska know that. People in our country don't. Just the footprints alone, how they've shrunk. Again, a credit to the companies we have in Alaska. I respect them. Just a side note, when I walked in, I was visiting with Mr. Haynes. We see eye to eye too, and he actually offered to read off my notes to give my talk, and we thought, gee, that might make headlines, so let's focus on OCS today. You know, during the same period, federal and state regulatory processes have improved, and we don't want them to be a hindrance, but it's where, again, Alaskans see eye to eye. We need resource development. It's got to be responsible, or we lose everything. You know, as Alaskans, we see eye to eye on this too. We love this place. Let me just say in summary, the fact that Alaska's OCS potential to produce oil and gas is world-class, is supported by the best peer review possible. MMS and USGS. Alaska's oil and gas resources can and should be a major part of the implementation of any credible energy plan for our nation. It's a real privilege for all of us that had the Secretary come and listen. That's the first step, so we look forward to the future.